So I'm here with Wes Crawford, designer of Engine Thieves by Compass Games, and I'm so excited. I did get to try this in prototype with you last year.
Yes.
It's so nice to see the finished product.
Yeah,
and,
it sort of pops on film and stuff,
really
you know?
does. I love the colors. It looks fun. As soon as you see it all set up, it just looks like so much fun. So, but I want to know from you, like, what was the process like to get this to where it is now? What was it like? Was it like, how much work was it? Was it fun? Was it hard? What was the production part of it?
I'm so passionate about this. And when I say this, I'm very much talking about the history.
Yes.
And then modeling that into a game. That's excited me since I first bought Midway, Avalon Hill, and at 11 years old.
Wow.
And so back in even those days, I used to love to think, I thought, it sort of broadened my mind. I can take anything and make a game out of it, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I noticed, fast forwarding all these decades, I just noticed that there seems to be a lack of American Civil War games on the small unit, individual raid level. Mm-hmm. And I just think that is a niche that could really be expanded upon. And my other game that's coming out with Compass on this is the raid on St. Albans, Vermont by the Confederates.
Oh.
It's going to be called Yankee Scare Party because that's what they called themselves.
Oh, really?
They came out of Canada,
all right.
and Canadian government at the time, the British, did not have a law against them crossing the border if they represented another country. So I'm not going to go into the whole story, but it's fascinating if you look it up on Wikipedia.
The only one I can think of is maybe Mosby's Raiders by
Yeah, and that's larger units. Yeah, but you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
But this gets right down to individual people. You know, it's so neat
because we have the actual pictures of them.
Yeah,
as you can see, there's one. And you can't see
portraits,
that.
Yeah,
but that's
amazing.
Pretty unique and pretty cool for that age. You know.
So, what is what are you most proud of this game? How it turned out? Because I know sometimes games almost take on a life of their own and design themselves to some extent, and even sometimes surprise the designers. What is it that you're most proud of?
I'm most proud, I would say, of taking an historical event. There's just fascinating story about stealing a train, trying to burn bridges and all that, being chased from behind, things up ahead on this single track that you can't even, can't even imagine what's waiting for them, and modeling it into a game.
Yeah.
And keeping the history really foremost in that. And I feel like we've been very successful. When I say we, I also mean Greg Pittenger, whose great-great-uncle was William Pittenger, one of the Raiders, who wrote the great locomotive chase.
Yeah.
And he knew a whole lot about the history. I did a whole lot of reading, and it was very exciting to then take that and model it so in such detail, but still keep it a playable game.
Yes, that's amazing.
And the guy that just played it here at the convention, it's sort of exactly what he said to me. So I'm really sort of high on that right now.
Yeah.
He said, I've never seen a game that can take the history and model it like this and make you feel the story. Yeah. And that's what it's about. The games are stories, whether they're Waterloo or whatever. When you're playing that, you feel you're part of the story. And I think that's what we want in these games. Yeah. That's what I want to do.
What's your favorite aspect of the game, whether it be a mechanism or some part of the game that just is the most fun for you when you're playing?
That's a little hard to say. In general, Fuller, Murphy, and Kane were the conductor and the foreman and the engineer of the General. The train was stolen.
Yes.
When they saw it taken off at Big Shanty and they were inside eating breakfast, they went out and started running.
Yes.
Now 3,500 Confederate troops were camped right next to the track. They were laughing at these guys chasing after the train because they didn't realize it was really being stolen by raiders. They thought it was deserters. And so the fact that FMC, as we call them, Fuller, Murphy, Kane, they keep chasing them no matter what.
I know.
That's what you get from the book.
Yeah. Really?
And that they just never gave up.
Yeah.
And so I had to extrapolate from that. Well, what would have happened if this happened?
Yeah.
They run into a burning bridge. They swim.
Yes.
They run if they have nothing. They'll get a pole card, and we've even added horses for the two-player game.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of ways for them to keep going. I think that's the most fun. The other is Tunnel Hill. This was a very long tunnel
Yeah.
that as the raiders were going through it, they talked to each other, said, this sure would be a good place to ambush the people following us. And nobody, the leader, never said, yes, let's do it, stop.
Oh, really?
And they could have done it. And when Fuller Murphy Kane were on a train chasing them, they were very leery and slowed down a lot. They said, this is a horrible place we could get ambushed. So in the game, you can ambush them there.
Yes.
You can just stay put when you do your cards, and they will land on you, and you shoot at them first with an ambush benefit too that's in the game.
Yeah,
and I've only done it once.
Really?
Yeah, only once, and it was one of the coolest feelings. Like, you think you got me? Nope.
Yeah,
you know.
that's great. Yeah, I guess if they're getting too close, you might pull that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
and where were they actually caught in real life? What point?
Right here on the map.
Oh, okay.
And this was Ringgold, and it's 2 miles because each space is a mile.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going uphill, little rougher track, you know, to get over, and they ran out of wood because it was wood fuel.
Oh, no.
And when they were back here, I'm pointing at Tilton, they could have loaded up completely their tinder, but they heard the other train approaching them. Oh. So they only loaded it up halfway or a little more and got going. And so that's why they ran out there. They were throwing everything they had into the furnace there for a while, and it just didn't work, especially going uphill.
Yeah.
They abandoned train, had no plan.
Yeah.
So this can happen in the game. You can abandon train, and they just basically said, you know, every man for himself, and everybody went scattering. You know, so they were all captured within 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah.
And a third of them hung.
Yeah. Oh.
So.
Okay. Well, sad ending to an amazing story, but it's when you really get the sense when you're escaping, it's a long way to Bridgeport.
And thank you, because that's exactly what I wanted it to represent by using a scale of 1 mile.
Yes.
For each space. You really feel the miles in this game, and you feel how far it is.
You see your wood dwindling.
Yes.
And you see the FMC on your tail, and it's like, I'd love to get some wood, but
exactly. And how you drive that train.
Yes.
You know, because you have better mileage going longer at a medium speed.
Yes.
So you have to make those decisions every turn.
You can't speed through stations because that arouses suspicion.
Yes, exactly. Raises the alert level.
Yeah, that's neat.
But it's been a lot of fun doing this one. Also, the other one, because the other one with the St. Albans raid is the same coin, but the other side. Because that's about 20 Confederate raiders going into Vermont dressed as civilians, just like here they went behind enemy lines, dressed as civilians, sprang into action. In both raids, they stole something of value, a train versus what today would be $4 million in the banks in St. Albans, Vermont.
Oh, wow.
And they were chased by railroad workers. That was a huge railroad town, just 20 miles south of Canada. You know. And as far as the shops and the all the works for building trains and stuff. So they were chased by them in both. And they both tried to burn structures and were unsuccessful because of rain. And so there's two sides of the same coin. I think they're going to go together as a pair, even though the mechanics are totally different because they're tailored after the precise situation. But
well, thanks so much for sharing your experience of designing this game.
Oh, thank you.
So
it's been fun. Circle DC has been fun.
Yes, it
and
has.
Anybody out there watching this, highly recommend it.
Yes.
I think it grew from last year too, didn't it?
I think it did, yes.
And you're going to be back next year?
I'm planning on it.
I will too. I only live 30 minutes away.
Oh, now, this is on Kickstarter, though, we should mention.
It is.
So what are the details?
Till April 3rd. It's Compass. If you look up Engine Thieves Kickstarter, you're going to find it. And lots of great videos. Thank you for your overview and information about it. So I hope people will just go to check that much out.
Yeah, so we'll put the link in the description as well, help people find that.
Oh, thanks.
All right, well, thank you.
Helpful.
Thank you, Wes.
Well, thank you very much.
Pleasure to chat with you.
It was great to see you in 3 dimensions.
Best of luck with this and St. Albans and all the other great designs you have on the
Well, thank you so much.
All right, excellent. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to get out there, get gaming, and
be legendary.